the point, right? What's the point of all of this? Why am I doing this? Why are we meeting here today? Why am I deciding to play golf nearly every day for the rest of my life if I can? The point is, I am on this journey of self-discovery, aren't we all? We are. I feel like I'm stepping back into a part of myself that I had lost from a younger age. Some would say, keep that youthful spirit, right? For the rest of your life. Play around. Find the things that you like to play with all the time. Do that every single day. Make money doing that every single day, and you won't have to work a single day in your life. You will be able to make an entire life out of doing that which you love. For a long time, I loved playing golf. From ages, I'd say 2 to 10. We'll go into my story a little bit later, but around 10 years old is when I broke away from golf. I got into music and theater and choir. Well, I've been in choir since I was in kindergarten. I lost it for a little bit. Eventually, we took a family vacation to visit my brother, who was out in Alaska at the time. That's where he was stationed. He's in the United States Air Force. When we were out there, I managed to get him to come out and play a round of golf with me. He said that he had played once or twice with our dad, but never really got into it. And then we played together, and then he really got into it, which was great for me. So anytime that we would go vacation and go out and visit him, or anytime he'd come home and visit us, we were out playing around. So I'd say that was probably 17 or 18 years of age. I've played average golf, once every other couple of weeks with some buddies, but it never became a routine back. I had kind of gotten myself into the work first, play later mentality, be another cog in the universal machine of sorts. And I started serving a purpose to something that I didn't truly care for. I mean, raise your hand now if you've fallen victim to that kind of mentality. Yeah. You stopped playing and you started saying, oh, I need money, so I need to do this, I need to work, I need to get a job. And you get sucked into it. You do, and to me, sometimes I felt like I was exhibiting, I don't want to say anxiety, but stress. I was receiving a level of stress that was my body's indicator of telling me, hey, you're not supposed to be doing this all the time. But we treat stress as, oh no, we need to do this, we need to do this, so stress has to go away, and the stress never goes away. And we keep doing what we need to do, making our ends meet, making money, going to our job, but our body is still saying, hey, stop doing that. Do something else. If you have the conviction, if you have the integrity to just stop what it is you're doing, shift focus in a new direction and attack it, then amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think it's a paramount value and skill to have in this world for you to recognize something that you have that maybe you don't want. And if you can give it another purpose, in a sense, if it's an actual tangible thing, and be like, oh, this isn't meant for me, let's not just throw it out. Let's see if we can put this in a direction where it could be of use, but with the intent of, I'm done with this, let's put it away and let's move on to the next thing, right? We still want to have a compassion and understanding of value for anything that we pick up. I found myself doing that for maybe about 5 to 7 years, where I took on new jobs nearly every year. I did something, I did it well enough, I decided whether it was for me or not, and then I moved on. And that was 1 year. I always seemed to consistently give a full year's worth of my time and effort into any job and see if it was right, if it fit. Some jobs made me a decent amount of money, but the job wasn't right. I didn't really want to do it. Some jobs I didn't really make a lot of money, but I felt really good about the work I was doing. I felt really good about my commitment to doing the job. But even still with that, it phased out, right? It took hold for a little bit, and then it was nice, it was good, and then it just kind of got bland, and then eventually you said, why am I doing this? Just recently, I decided to do it again, but before I actually chose my next focus, I decided to listen to what my body and my heart is trying to tell me. I started to listen to the doubts around me and be able to hear what people said that I couldn't do if it was something that I was kind of interested in doing. The amount of people who told me, David, it's nice that you like to play golf, but you're not going to make a career out of it. You're not going to do it every single day of your life. And if you are, you're not going to make any money. It's not a spiteful, oh, you'll see. It's more of a, you know what? Why am I asking the people who aren't doing what it is I want to do whether or not I can do it? So let me say that one more time and then explain that if it's a little bit convoluted. Why am I asking people who aren't doing what I want to do that would have doubts as to why I could be successful doing it? So as an analogy, you wouldn't ask a poor person how to make $1 million. You wouldn't ask someone who's a golfer how to play baseball. For me, I'm asking my peers and family about what it would take and if they think I could make a career in golf, but they don't live and or work with the golf world. How would they know whether or not I can actually make it? And it's the same people who really pushed for me to say, hey, you got to get a job. You have to work, you have to make your ends meet, you have to have finance first priority, and then you can play later. So that put me in a mindset that hasn't gotten me anywhere. And I stopped playing, I stopped doing the things that I really love to do, and if I did, who knows? I can't speak from that experience because it's not mine, not yet. But at this time, I'm deciding to put what I love to do every day, and most importantly, share it. Through this inward journey that I've recently started for myself, I sat down with the likes of aunts, uncles, cousins, my grandparents, my mother, my siblings, everyone that I grew up around, right? The environment that I view that I needed to grow out of, as I think everyone should. It's nice to have the community, that safety net of those that love you, but hopefully that safety net is also willing enough to push you away in the direction in which you are organically magnetized to, the direction you just naturally is pulling you, saying, I really want to do this, do it. And if anyone says, oh, I don't think you can, still do it. If you want to do it, and allow it to be constructive of a foundation for you to build upon to do it as often and as much as you'd like to. Disclaimer, also make sure it is not destructive to somebody else. If it's like, oh, well, I really want to punch somebody. Well, you can if you choose the route of boxing or MMA, but don't just go around walking on the street punching people. You are now interfering with their desires and dreams and passions that they're trying to pursue. Don't be interruptive, don't be disruptive, don't be destructive. Be constructive. If someone comes across your path, engage with them, let them know what you're doing. Hopefully they will do the same and let you know what they're doing. And you can either decide that you can be on this path together and interact with each other, or you can be like, respectively, hey, we're on different paths, I'll see you around. And that's not a hurtful thing. But it also means that you're not interrupting what they're trying to do, right? And you're still focused on what it is that you're trying to do. So my grandmother told me this: David Lee, if you want to get something out of this world, you have to give something to it. There are so many people that are trying to take without giving back, and then they realize that they never have enough because what they're taking is not actually worth much because they're not giving anything in return. When you give to the world, once you give your value, your passions, your dream, yourself to the world, you have then contributed to this global project, right? We're all on one planet together. When you give to that world, you then have something that you can pull out that's yours, and maybe even a little bit of something that someone else contributed, right? So once you throw into this giant world, it mixes up with everything that's around there, and when you go to grab for what's yours again, you automatically kind of pull a little bit of what someone else added to it. And it's this balance, and it's this recycling game where people put things out in the world, and you're putting things out into the world, and when you're taking things and giving and taking and giving, it's this amazing balance that you feel really good about taking some of it out because you've contributed to it. When you shut yourself away and just hide, and you only try to take things, I find in my experience, you're in this darkness looking for the light. It's why you're reaching to take something. Well, whether it's I need to make more money, so I need to take more jobs, I need to do more. And sometimes that's in the sake of contributing to things. But if you're providing something that's not yours, if you, let's just say you work at a grocery store, no names involved. Is it your business if you don't grow or make the food? You're just as a representative of another person's business giving out a product. But that product isn't made by you. It's not derived by you. You're just facilitating. which is noble. It's absolutely needed in this world. We need people to do these kind of things. So if that's your passion, to be that kind of service person to the community, awesome. I'm not knocking it at all, I promise. But there are some people that feel that that's not enough for them. I'm one of those people. I have such grand visions of what I can contribute. And part of that sounds a bit arrogant, I know. And I will beat myself up about that later. But when you feel like you can contribute big, and you only get the opportunities, or you're only told to do some things that are just really small, it eats away at you. At least it has me. So if you feel similarly, please drop a like, a comment, reach out to me, and I would love to delve further and have a Discord. I really wanted to do something to give back and do something I loved. And I love the game of golf. It's patience. It's celebrating the little victories, each shot that end up great, and the ones that don't end up great. It teaches you to not get so wrapped up in the little moments, in the micro that go bad, but focus on the macro, focus on the big picture, on what goes right. And celebrating those more than you beat yourself up for the things that don't go right. So when you hit a bad shot, you shake it off, you hit a bad shot. I'll hit the next one great. And the next one maybe also goes bad. But you're saying, you know what, I really intended to hit that one great. It just didn't go that way. And then the next one, you slam it, and it's amazing. Celebrate that moment. That moment's fantastic. So all of these principles in the game of golf that really speak out to what I want to contribute to the world. I want to contribute celebrating the victories, helping those that are dwelling on the hang-ups, the bad shots, the duffers, the yips, and make them realize that in the macro, in the large game, in the long game, those small shots that go awry, they're not the whole game. So don't focus on them like that's it. Focus on the big picture. You still have way more to go, and all of it can be great if you put the intent out there to do what you love, to share it with those around you, and then you won't have to truly worry about so much, and you'll start to build this sense of patience that things will come in time. And that's what golf is for me, and it applies to all of my life, and I want to share that journey. So come join me as I putz around at golf until I get really good, because I will get really good. That is my intent. To just play. It's not just to play. My intent is to get good and enjoy the game as much as I possibly can and share that enjoyment. And I hope you can share it with me. And if you're not really into golf, but you're here as other support, as friend, family, whatever, thank you for coming and support. Even if you're not into much of the golf world, I think this might end up being a little bit more than just golf, as I feel like this chat kind of was. So if you're here for those things, pardon all of the golf analogies. There will be a lot of them. There will be poor golf jokes. There will be a lot of golf talk some days that I just want to talk about how my round went. But stick around for the moments that are a little bit more than that. And I promise that we will have plenty of time to discuss more into that. Please drop a comment, reach out to me, direct message me. I will be happy to discuss anything and everything because life is always about learning. Just know that my focus is mostly golf.